Welcome in, everybody. It is March 7th, 2026. It is the NXT Vengeance Day post-show here on bodyslam.net. My name is Max Dinenberg. I am finally joined with a guest, a co-host for these NXT PLEs. It is Cory Hayes, the Cory Hayes.
What's up, Max?
With me on a post-show. Cory, how is your Saturday night going here?
Wrestling. So
I know it's a lot.
I had two shows on at once, and I watched AAA after. So I was like, well, we're gonna hold off on the post show until AAA is over.
Yeah, it really was like starting with Chamber last weekend. We're gonna be on basically every weekend. There's gonna be a major big event going on. But yeah, we had AAA, we had AEW Collision, we had NXT Vengeance Day. The final, as of now, the final PLE on Peacock. It
looks like they're advertising Stand and Deliver for Peacock at the moment. So maybe they came to an extension until they figure out what they're gonna do.
Yeah,
because this was the final advertised one, but it looks like Stand and Deliver is advertised for it now. So we'll see if we get news in the coming days about the PLEs on Peacock.
Yeah, absolutely. But this, I finally had it Peacock with no commercials, and that was a weird experience because they like replayed the promo segments like 2 or 3 times before the match would start. If you didn't have commercials, which I found was an interesting experience. But this was a kind of a show that kind of came together, at least for someone who watches the show every week, kind of out of the blue. It was like a couple weeks ago. Hendry and Saints like dropped that there was Vengeance Day, but they didn't really start promoting the show until the week after that promo segment. So
however, if you subscribe to the Body Slam Patreon, you would have known a month ago that Vengeance Day was taking place on March 7th at the Performance Center.
Yes, and we're gonna be promoting that Patreon a lot because Cory and a lot of people here at Body Slam have been doing all the hard work and putting together some huge breaking news. It feels like every day a billion stories are up on the Body Slam Patreon.
Been trying, especially this week. I'm exhausted from it, but
we
do what we do. So
before we can get into the post show, definitely subscribe. Definitely, if you're watching on anywhere, Facebook, YouTube, please hit that like button, especially on Twitter as well. And also, we're already seeing some commenters. We're going to get to your comments. MGN saying that it was a slightly above average show. Can't really disagree. I thought it was a really solid.
I think for the way it came together, it was definitely overachieving. We'll definitely talk about everything that happened, and there was a few spots that I said, "Holy hell!" It was So we'll get into them when we go break down the matches individually. But I think it was a fairly great PLE tonight, and probably the best PLE that WWE has had in 2026 so far.
I do agree. I don't think a lot of people will disagree. Dakota saying it's a B+ pay-per-view. I also think that's a very fair grade to give Vengeance Day. Let's get started talking about this show. 5-match card. 3 of the 5 matches were women's matches, but I think helped this show out a lot. Women's division is easily the best part of NXT. But let's get started with this. I thought was the hottest feud, honestly, coming into this show, which was Blake Monroe and Jada Parker. Street fight, some pretty crazy bumps in this match. There was diamonds involved. There were some chair shots.
Well, you got the glamour, so you have to expect diamonds.
Yeah, but there was a really unique thing in the match too, because they had like the kendo sticks like stuck to the ropes, and I thought, okay, that's just an easy way for them to grab the kendo sticks. But they actually used them as bumps during the matches. I thought was really unique. Jada took a really big top rope bump through a table, through Blake Monroe. I was actually more nervous for Jada following that spot than Blake, but
it was a nice spot, though. I enjoyed it.
It was a good spot. Blake gets the win, which makes a lot of sense. I feel like she's going to be obviously moving up the card here after being NXT North American champion towards the end of last year. But Cory, what were your thoughts on this? I thought it was a really, really, really good match here to start.
It was a fantastic way to start Vengeance Day. I posted like 5 minutes before the show that it was going to be the opener. It was definitely a great way to start it. The crowd was into it from the moment that Blake Monroe came out and did her entrance. The Woman from Hell, she was dressed in all black for a reason. When the Woman from Hell shows up, you know she means business. I had teased 2 weeks ago when Thea Hale beat Blake Monroe in the speed tournament, that the woman from hell was coming for Jada Parker.
Yes.
And you see what happened. The woman from hell came for Jada Parker. So it was good to see that. The match, like you said, a lot of spots in this match. Yeah. I think that they took crazy bumps. The table spot, like you mentioned, Jada Parker jumping off and landing on Blake Monroe on the table on the outside. The steel chairs had her in the trio woe, the steel chair, and did the high step into a booty bump in the corner with another steel chair. There's some crazy stuff going on in this match. Both women, I think, are great talents. I really, despite what social media believes about Jada Parker, I think Jada Parker is a good worker. She has shown in several different feuds that she's had that she's able to hang with the best of the best. Lash Legend, Michin, Blake Monroe. She continues to grow. As for Blake Monroe, picking up this win was huge. She really needed it after everything that's happened in like the last 2 months or so. Dropping the Women's North American Championship, which was not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And getting thrown into a rematch, which didn't happen because they ran the angle where she attacked Thea Hale and then got suspended, thrown out, all this different stuff. So I think it's time, from what I've heard, that Blake Monroe goes into the main event scene now on NXT. Depending on what happens with the NXT Women's Championship, which we'll get into in a little bit on this stream also. So it just depends. But I think Blake Monroe, being as she's not on the main roster yet, it's time. It's time for her to go to the main event scene and leave the mid-card scene after she defeated Jada Parker tonight.
Yeah, I agree. UTR is saying gonna have to catch up, but this was the best Blake's looked in NXT in his opinion, and her and Jada have some great chemistry. They do.
I think their chemistry, even in that double countout match that they had, I think their chemistry is there. You could tell that both of them were really into this feud. Jada Parker came back and said that she had a mission. She was setting to set herself up to move up the card by going after Blake Monroe. Wanted to make a statement. She did. Yeah. She did. I think even in defeat, Jada Parker shows that she can go, and she continues to get better. She continues to get better in here. Yeah. So
I think it all worked out. Like the promo work together was really strong as well. And I agree. I think like it's been a very up and down road for Blake. Not her fault, honestly, for a lot of it. I liked the Jordynne Grace towards the end of the Jordynne Grace feud.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's taken
a while. The steel cage match.
Yeah, it's taken a while to get her in the hot feud again on NXT. So this was good. And
I don't think you can really consider Thea Hale a hot feud.
No. No, especially like she loses the match and we get the weird thing. And even like she had a rematch she wrestled Thea in the speed and she lost like under a minute too in that match. So I think it's good for her to get a big win on a big show like this. And they're going to probably put her in a very prominent spot.
That's what, when we made the report about her not going to the main roster, after Fightful had said that there were discussions, which they were correct. There were discussions with main roster creative regarding Blake Monroe. Ultimately, NXT decided to keep her down in the PC, and they have plans for her going in to Stand and Deliver.
Yeah.
The question is, we'll see in the next few weeks playing on TV before it happens what exactly she's going to be doing. But I think that she is going to be involved in that NXT Women's Championship picture somehow, some way. Like we said, we'll talk about that a little bit later in this stream. But yeah, I think it's time. It's time for her to go and get into that main title scene.
Yes. We then had a backstage segment with Ricky Saints and Ethan Page, where Ethan Page is still depressed after losing to Miles Bourne for the second time for the North American title on Tuesday. And Ricky, once his help, said, "Where were you when Vanity Project helped me out in that closing segment on Tuesday?" And Ethan saying he was still thinking about the match. But Ricky says, "You're going to be a 2-time North American champion. I'm going to be a 2-time NXT champion." But then Ethan lingers on the 2-time part, which obviously hints at him being interested in the NXT title, no more the NXT North American title. We'll get to Ethan being in the main event segment. But what were your thoughts on this promo backstage with Ethan and Ricky?
I think Ethan Page and Ricky Saints are fucking great together.
Yes.
I think they work perfectly fine together. It has been very fun to see them with the Vanity Project lately. Their segments are hilarious. This was another funny segment to me. Like you said, Ethan, he had his eyes on that two-time part.
Yeah.
The two-time part. And if you do subscribe to the Body Slam Patreon, you would have seen a report earlier this week about what it looks like is going to happen for Ethan Page now that he has dropped the NXT North America Championship. So
yeah,
I do enjoy this duo. I think it's coming to an end very shortly after what happened tonight. We'll talk about that. But yeah, I enjoyed this backstage segment between the two of them.
Yeah, it's amazing. They've already been through a lot together in a very short time in NXT. Their first, Ricky's first big feud was Ethan Page in NXT, and here we are, them now being on screen together again. So I'm definitely enjoying them. Let's get to the second match, which was Tony D'Angelo and Dion Lennox. The match
this is the match I think a lot of people were not having expectations for. But both of these dudes can go in the ring. But the way that they started this, Dion Lennox said on NXT Tuesday that I'm not going to let you get in the building. I'm going to be waiting for you in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So as soon as Tony D's car rolled up in the parking lot, Dark State went after the car, but Tony D wasn't in his car.
No.
Tony D was not there. Tony D was pulling a sneak attack. He had his crowbar. He was ready to go. Yep. And the brawl is on. The brawl is on with probably the majority of the NXT roster out there in the parking lot with them. It looked like between Evolve and NXT, the majority of the roster out there hanging out. A lot of crazy spots outside. You had a canister being thrown into a windshield. Like I said, the crowbar was involved. Different spots once they went inside the building, crashing through a wall. Some OTM brawling with Dark State.
Yeah.
There's a lot that happened in this before the match even started in the ring. There was a lot that happened, and once the match started, there was a lot that happened in the ring. But I was very, very pleased with the way that this match came out. Both of these men should be featured prominently moving forward, especially with the way that the NXT roster, the men's roster specifically, has been depleted in the beginning of 2026, taking away 3 of the biggest stars at the end of the year and the beginning of the year. So I think we're moving in the right direction. And I think it was the right move to have Tony D go over Dion Lennox here, because his eyes are now on the NXT championship as well. He said he came back to NXT for 2 things: to take out Dark State, and the other thing he hasn't mentioned, but it's the NXT championship. He's had his eye on it since he returned last year.
Yep.
And I think it's time. We're going to have a crazy next month leading to Stand and Deliver. But yeah, Tony D going over Dion Lennox was the correct move. But I was very impressed by the both of them in the ring.
Yeah, it was a match I was not expecting, because I haven't enjoyed this feud as a whole. But the thing that hooked me right away was the fact that there was a fake Tony D driving up. That was like already, I was like, this is already very funny way to start the match. But the spot that everyone's going to talk about is that suplex from out of the ring through the announce table.
Absolutely crazy spot.
Yeah.
The two of them, he throws them. They land in the first row of the crowd, which if you've been at the Performance Center before, you know how small it is in there. So they go into the front row of the crowd. They start fighting up there, and ultimately it results in a suplex through the announce table. Yep. Both men took impact there, and but that was a spot I wasn't expecting in this match either. So it was a nice spot, though. Really nice spot in the middle of this match, which led to ultimately Tony D going over at the end.
Yes.
But yeah, this one definitely over-delivered, because I know people were saying, oh, this is just a match on the card, doesn't really matter.
Sure.
There was some stuff that went into it, and they definitely over-delivered.
Yes. UTR also agreeing, saying needed from both guys. Definitely didn't expect much from Tony D, but he's proven me wrong before. They had a great scrap. Dion has a lot of upside. I think for me, the Dark State booking has been weird, because I think they talk like they're big threats, but on screen, they just haven't been built to be these unbelievable threats to the roster or anything. So I'm excited. I think the Dark State OTM could be a really good mini feud to set up the winner to be in a tag team title situation. Darkseid obviously has already been the champs twice already.
Yeah.
But I do think Dion needed a match like this. He didn't really have much to do in that ladder match for the NXT title. So I was happy he got a big spotlight, individual moment on a show like this. Again, this was the feud that I didn't care about at all going into the show. And it was probably my second favorite or third favorite match on the show. So that's a credit to them for putting out such a fun match. JMG saying Brock Onima is a star. OTM did cut a promo right after this as well on Darkseid.
Fantastic promo. Those are two guys that I see continue to improve as well. They've been down in the Performance Center for a little bit. Bronco Nima is somebody I think is going to catch a lot of people's eyes. I've been able to see up close and personal some of these guys start at the ground and make their way up. I think OTM is overdue being in that tag team championship scene. Unfortunately, they've gone through some injury issues over time. So it has halted whatever momentum they've built. But now that they're both back and healthy, I think OTM has been very, very impressive since they've returned to NXT television.
Yeah, and they're used on main event a lot. So they're definitely used a lot, both obviously now main roster sort of with main event, but also NXT as well. So this is definitely going to be their first big feud. I think they're probably going to go over as well in this feud.
They should absolutely go over Darkseid here.
And again, I'm not skipping anyone's questions here in the comments. I just want to attribute the questions to the actual matches or segments that we're talking about. So we're completely on topic. UTR is saying Bronco and Lucia have been great since they came back. Broncos would be a big deal if they stay healthy. I agree.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Let's quickly move on to, I thought probably the best in-ring match just straight up on the show, which was Tatum Paxley defeating Izzy Dame to become the new.
They are wrestling soulmates. They are absolutely soulmates too. You have two matches on this show where competitors are wrestling soulmates. This one, and then obviously the next one that we're going to talk about. But yeah, Izzy and Tatum put on the best performance in that ring that I've seen in quite some time. Both of them, props to them for the work that they did. Good on the calling on the outside, taking their bumps too. It was nice to see Sean Spears and Nico get involved like that. But it was they played their part, which ultimately, like you said, resulted in Tatum Paxley defeating Izzy Dame to become the new NXT Women's North American Champion. This feud has been brewing for quite some time, even when they both were members of the Calling. If you remember, before Tatum Paxley became NXT Women's Champion, Izzy Dame tried to cost her that, but ultimately helped her. Yeah. She ultimately helped her win that title and then immediately cost her after that. And that's what led to this. Tatum Paxley defeated Izzy Dame back at New Year's Evil. And then on the same show, Izzy Dame became NXT Women's North American Champion by defeating Thea Hale. So she held that championship for 2 months, and now it's Tatum's time again. And judging by the crowd reaction in person, she is very loved in the Performance Center. I can tell you that right now. They love Tatum Paxley over there. Not just the fans, but her peers. And everybody in the PC loves them some Tatum Paxley. She absolutely deserves this. I would like to see a lengthy run with this championship now for her because she got gypped from the last one. So I think now is the time for her to hold gold for a little while.
Yeah, I agree. And we're going to talk about, we have a lot of people coming here to talk about their love for this match. Dakota on Twitch saying match of the night. I agree. I think it probably was in ring
100%
match of the night. I did buy a ticket. I was getting annoyed by buying this ticket in this match where Tatum got distracted staring down Sean Spears and then walks in the ring. Izzy hits the finish. I was like, all right, let's not book Tatum like a complete idiot. But she kicks out. And then Tatum gets the win after taking out both members of the Calling. I thought that was the absolute right booking decision towards the end of the match. Because I was like, why is Tatum going to lose like this? But then Tatum ended up getting the win.
She kicked out twice out of finisher. So I was like, she's not losing this match. And she was a major heavy betting odd favorite going into this show. She was one of the heaviest between her. I think Lola Vice was a very heavy favorite too. But the predictions that I went 5 for 5 on them. It was, I wouldn't say it's a predictable show. I would say this match was probably the biggest toss-up between the show due to the fact that you didn't know which way it was going to go.
Yeah.
Especially after Tuesday. Tatum Paxley playing mind games with Izzy Damon, having her thinking there. It's like, you're really going to have her lose this way after everything. She's only been champ 2 months. They did. But it's time for Tatum Paxley to get a extended championship run right now.
Yes, we have another person, JMG, saying match of the night for Tatum and Izzy as well. We also have LB asking an interesting question. What does Izzy Dane do now after this feud? Because the Coling have not been doing well in the tag ranks. Izzy's been feuding for Tatum for a very long time. What do you think, Cory? Where do you think this goes?
I'm pretty sure she's gonna try and get her lick back at Tatum Paxley again. Ultimately, before she as well moves into the main event scene, because she's fantastic. She has improved so much since starting as well. I think that it would be a nice little refresher for her to get in that main event scene. But there's so much women's talent on that roster. You have to find ways to utilize all of them. That's why some of them are down in Evolve. That's why some of them are being used on LFG right now, because the women's division is the deepest division in professional wrestling, NXT's. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with her. I do ultimately think that she's going to be propelled into the main event scene, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely. UTR saying Izzy's come a long way. This was awesome. She has. I don't think many people a year ago would think she would be in a spot like this. But she's definitely a made for TV wrestler. She definitely feels like an American TV wrestler.
100%.
Very, very strong. Trying to see if we have any other questions I'm missing. If not, we can move on to another big women's segment on this show, which was the NXT Women's Championship situation. So JC Jane and Fatal Influence come out. Robert Stone brings them out, and in the middle of it, Sol and Zarya interrupt, both saying that they were screwed out of title matches. This is all to set up that the March 17th episode of NXT in Houston, we are getting a triple threat for the women's title: JC Jane, Sol Ruka, and Zarya. A spot that I liked in this segment was Lainey Reed, a filthy running knee shot. I think it was to Sol to get Fatal Influence on top in this segment. JC was not happy about this backstage. Lainey will wrestle, I think it's Sol or Zarya on Tuesday. And
I love Lainey grabs. Lainey grabs are the best, so I'm glad.
And Fallon was like, I already have a title, so I can't help out with this situation because I'm defending a title, the speed title in Houston. So we're getting this triple threat, Cory, which I think many people expected after JC beat Sol in 6 seconds and Sol cost Zarya the week after. But what are your thoughts on the segment and this match in a couple weeks here?
I think the segment laid quite a few eggs when it comes to this scene here. Fatal Influence took some jabs at JC Jane.
Yeah.
I think that's very interesting. I think they might play into it. I also don't think this ends on NXT in Houston in 2 weeks. I think it goes all the way to Stand and Deliver. I don't think this ends there. I think we've got something. And if it does, if JC Jane goes over both Sol and Zarya, then that's a match that we're probably going to get a Stand and Deliver with the two of them.
That's
so right. It just depends. But I'm very intrigued to see what they do, because I don't think Fatal Influence is going to survive much longer. So we'll see what happens. But I did enjoy this segment. I like that they're getting Lainey Reed more involved. She deserves it. She's an incredible talent. I need to see her. I've been calling for her for quite some time. I need to see more Reed graps. She if you remember Lainey Reed and Kendall Gray going at it, match in the tag, that was incredible tag team match they had there. I definitely am very intrigued though. Also, you mentioned the Women's Speed Championship.
Yeah.
We have the final of the tournament this Tuesday on NXT between, what is it? It's Thea and Ren Sinclair to face Fallon. Obviously, I think we know who's going to win that match because they're going to Houston, Texas. I'm pretty sure we know who's going to win that match, and I'm pretty sure we know who's going to become the new Women's Speed Champion.
Hey, there you go.
So, but yeah, I'm very intrigued to see what they do. Because I believe that Fallon Henley's going to drop that Speed Championship in Houston. And then, like I said, they planted some seeds. They planted some seeds here in this segment too.
Yep, Ren. It's gonna be a big moment for Ren. I think.
Yes, Dakota. What do I mean by survive much longer as a group? Yes, I think Fatal Influence's time has come to an end very soon.
I think after Stand Deliver, JC's kind of done it all at that point in NXT. Do you think there's a possibility? Because we also have people in the chat saying they got to cycle some people out, JC in particular. Do you think JC – I think JC does drop the title at Stand Deliver. Do you think after Stand Deliver she could be because they just did a bunch of call-ups to start the year. Do you think they're already going to do more call-ups post-WrestleMania, Corey?
Yeah, 100%. They're going to have to.
I agree. I think JC's done it all. I don't think she needs to put Fallon or Laney over before she goes. I think dropping the title is good enough for her to go to the main roster. I think the person who won the next match, I think, could be the new NXT Women's Champion. Let's get into that. Actually, before we get into that, there was a backstage segment, oh my God, with Lexis King and his group with Charlie Dempsey and Tavion Heights. Charlie turned down the opportunity, I guess, to join Lexis's generation.
Birthright, whatever they are.
Themselves. But this is all to set up a tag match on Tuesday. Charlie and Tavion reuniting together to go up against.
I don't think this is a long reunion. If you get what I'm saying,
no,
I don't think this is going to be a long reunion at all.
Yeah, this it's very fascinating. This group, Stax always cracks me up. He always nods when they talk about our birthright, and he's literally just married into the group, which I think is a good comedic bit of why he's in the faction. But I think Charlie's probably gonna join this group. If probably on Tuesday, honestly, he could turn.
That's what I think is happening.
Yeah,
and obviously Uriah Connor's brother is with AEW now, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that the seeds were planted just in case he signed there. He ended up not signing there.
Mm-hmm. It seemed like they were really, really, really hinting at it. But I think as someone who I think Finley made the right decision based on things that are going on. So he was also on Collision tonight. But yes, they are moving on from that. Maybe Lexis is the leader of the group. We'll see if they figure something out. But yeah, let's move on to as JMG says, bad mistake for Finley going to AEW. I think it was a good thing for him.
I think it's good for him. I think it's good.
Him and Gabe and Clark, I think, are going to be booked pretty strong there. So I'm very excited for their tenure in AEW. Let's move on to a match that I honestly was disappointed in. It was the NXT Underground match between Lola and Kalani. Was easily the quickest match on the show. It was like 6 minutes. There was a good spot where Kalani and Lola were beating up the Evolve talent outside the ring. Kalani got in the face of Lola's father, but all set up for her basically being knocked out by Lola in the middle of the ring. I just felt like this was kind of just there. It was not one of the better Underground matches. I like this feud a lot over the last month, but I thought for me it was kind of just there.
It's NXT Underground is obviously Lola's thing. It's a specialty of Lola. She is now 4-0 in NXT Underground. They've had 6 Underground matches, and she's 4-0. This is her specialty.
Yeah.
Going between without the ropes, whooping ass.
Yeah.
So, definitely 100% think that it was the right call to have Lola go over Kalani in this one.
Yes.
It's been a long time coming, especially what has happened recently. Kalani Jordan made Lola Vice tap out the other week on NXT. Yep. They've been intertwined with each other since 2023 in the breakout tournament. We talked about wrestling soulmates earlier. These two are wrestling soulmates. If that makes they work so well together. I think there were some nice spots in here. Kalani's playing the heel very well in her role. I think she has picked up the heel very well. It's going to be interesting to see where she goes next.
Yeah.
Obviously, we saw after the show, NXT posted a promo from Lola Vice, and Lola Vice wants the NXT Women's Championship now too.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting. Like I said, the women's division is stacked, so it's kind of hard to fit everybody into a picture.
Yeah.
That's why they have the mid-card title, but majority of these women that are on TV right now deserve to be in the NXT Women's Championship picture.
Yes.
And it's hard to believe You asked if we're going to get some call-ups post-Mania, post-Stand and Deliver. Yeah. I think so, because look how populated the division is right now. So I think we are going to get more call-ups. I think it's going to be beneficial for whoever gets called up, because SmackDown could still use some women's talent on that side. I think it's going to be very beneficial to whoever gets that call-up. They should. They have so much talent down there at the Performance Center that I am very intrigued to see what they do with all of these women in the next 4 weeks. You have to remember that we have Roadblock at Madison Square Garden at the theater on 4 days before Stand and Deliver. So there's a lot of things. You have the special show in Houston in 2 weeks. Yeah. Then 2 weeks later, you have Roadblock. And then 4 days after that, you have Stand and Deliver. So you have 3 big events for NXT in the next 4 weeks that you're probably going to see a lot of stories play out to where you know exactly where the direction they're going moving forward. But yeah, Lola Vice going over Kalani Jordan was the right decision. Lola Vice has been a mainstay for the last 3 years. She has done some incredible work. I've really enjoyed the growth that she's shown since working both AAA and NXT. So I think that she absolutely as well deserves to be in the NXT Women's Championship picture.
My prediction for weeks has been Lola wins the title at Stand and Deliver. I feel like it's going to be possibly a big crowning moment for her, especially if JC is still going to be the champion when we get to Stand and Deliver. Matthew saying, appreciate you guys. When is the WWE draft and who would be moving onto the main roster? Do you think Blake should go? I actually just think Blake's going to get an NXT Women's title run before she gets.
I think with a lot of the women that got moved up to NXT to the main roster over the years that never got the NXT Women's Championship runs that they should have. I think Blake Monroe is one that is going to get a run with the NXT Women's Championship before they do ultimately call her up.
And again, NXT is on the CW. They don't want to call up all of their most experienced wrestlers. They always want to keep worldwide.
That's exactly why Ricky and Ethan and people like that are still there right now, because everybody, there's over 600,000 people watch NXT a week on the CW. So not counting Netflix. Internationally, they probably got a lot more. Yeah. But on the CW likes to have some experienced people, which is why when WWE signs talent, some of them who have been in the business 20 years are going to NXT just so they can have some experience down there and help these younger people before they make their move officially.
Yeah. Dakota saying people were upset about the match was too short. I did think it was kind of abrupt. Like the match kind of felt really short. I was like,
it was a shorter match, but I think it did what it was supposed to. I think it served its purpose. You had Kalani at moments in this match where you believed that she was going to get the victory, and she had Lola down for a little bit.
Yeah.
But Lola got that last burst of energy. Her father was there in the crowd, and she won that match. Yeah, she won that match for her dad. So
he was into it. He ripped off his sweatshirt in the middle of it. I was like, oh my God, he's about to jump the barricade to get in the match. He was very into it. Matthew, thanks you for the support as always. Thinking that we're cool. Always appreciate it. Let's see if I missed any other before we move on to the main event of the show. I think that Finley, if they gave him a main roster deal, he probably went to NXT. Probably if he was.
Yeah, if they would have given him more money, he definitely would have gone to NXT. The money was the real reason why he didn't go to WWE. That was the biggest reason. AEW gave him a better contract offer, and he felt like, okay, I can go do my thing in the North American promotion right now while I raise my little one. I'm going to have a multi-year contract with this company. Yeah. WWE is going to see what I do with this company probably, and then they're going to want me in a few years, and they're going to offer me what I deserve. So I think he made the right move.
Yes.
I think that ultimately NXT is not hurting because they didn't get him. I'm just very interested to see what happens with Birthright now, because Birthright was – who's going to be the leader of Birthright now? Are they going to put – because Lexis King, I don't think is built to be a leader.
No.
I like Lexis King. I am a big fan of Pillman Jr., but I don't think his current character is built for that role. So we'll
None
see.
of them are right now.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. But I think Uriah Connors is going to make a big leap. If I'm being honest, lately he has impressed me. So I think he's going to make a big leap. I think that's what they're trying to do with this group also.
Yeah.
For the first time, they mentioned their parents' actual names on television. They mentioned them on television in that backstage segment earlier. So, but yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens there. Let's see what else was the question. I saw it said Rain. When's Rain gonna be there? She was on the show tonight. She was in the Underground match at ringside.
Yeah, we also didn't even talk about Kendall Gray. I mean, she's gonna be a top player for them also. So
absolutely, and if you I had an update on Wednesday on the Patreon also about what her future looks like. I'm not gonna spoil what's going on with Evolve. You got to watch, but her future, she's going full time NXT. So you'll see soon enough.
We have a question here from LB saying, "Do you think Ricky might move up soon? What do you think about Ricky Saints? Do you think he's a post?
I think it's time. Ricky's time has come. If Ricky's not going up, then Ethan's going up. If Ethan's not going up yet, then Ricky's going up. It's one or the other. You can't call both of them up just yet. So one or the other is going up. If you call up both of them, they're just gonna go into who knows on the main roster right now. Who knows where they fit in? Last year, there was discussions about having them join the Vision. The Vision obviously is what it is right now. I don't think either one of them fits in that Vision right now. I think they would have last year when the momentum was hot and the Vision was just starting out and they needed people. But now it obviously didn't make sense. Ricky Saints was a babyface at the time, but now they're both heels. I think one or the other goes up. I don't think both of them go up.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting if they get both, because I think they could do a story where they both get an NXT title match, a stand deliver, possibly. Because maybe, and if that happens, they could both be done maybe in NXT, which I find would be very interesting and could hurt. I more look at it from the NXT perspective. What will that do if they're both gone from a top level male wrestler?
That's why I'm saying you can't lose them just yet. One of them has to continue to be in that scene just so they can put over the younger guys.
Yeah.
Once they do that, then they both can go to the main roster where they should be. Both of them are incredible talent. I think Ethan Page is one of the best talents in the entire world.
Yes.
Ethan Page has shown what he's capable of since he came to NXT. He's an incredible talent and he's an incredible character.
Yeah.
So I think that it is time for one or the other to go up. You just can't call both of them up just yet.
I agree. And again, we're heading down the home stretch here with the main event. So if you have any questions, especially for Cory, for any reports that he's been making over the last week, this is a great time to get your questions in.
Let me get into, I'm going to read some stuff before we get into the main event.
Let's see. We got Cory. What do you think Oba does at Mania?
Undecided.
Crazy that's undecided at this point.
The reason it's undecided because there's a few creative directions that they can go with multiple superstars right now, and he's one of them. He's one of the superstars. The match that everybody wants to see is Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar, obviously. Everybody wants to see that. LA Knight versus Brock Lesnar is still on the table at the moment. There's a few of them. Oba Femi running through some talent at WrestleMania is on the table. Okay. So there's some stuff. But at this moment, I don't know. I just know he's going to be featured sometime. I saw that one. I have no idea. I have no update on them, unfortunately.
Yeah, weird.
I don't know what's going on with them. They were in flux for a little bit after they dropped out of the tag team championship scene on SmackDown. The tag team, it went downhill. It went downhill to close 2025. Yeah. And it's starting to pick up again right now. As you saw yesterday, they did the whole tag team turmoil for a number one contendership spot, which R-Truth and Damian Priest were the winners.
Yeah.
I think R-Truth and Damian Priest are going to win those tag team championships. I think they're going to dethrone the MFT because the MFT keep messing with the Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Six are going to cost them, which ultimately is going to lead to a WrestleMania match between the Wyatt Six and the MFT. I know a lot of people are not going to like that, but it's going to get them out of the tag team championship scene and elevate the tag team theirs. So maybe that's where the Street Profits are going to fit in again. But as of right now, I have no update on them.
We have JMGL saying, why is the IWC crap on the main event last night? It was a very toxic end to SmackDown.
It's been a crazy 24 hours right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people did not enjoy it just due to the fact they feel like Drew got shafted. They feel like Drew got screwed out of this title run. A 2-month championship reign just to put it back on Cody, to run Cody versus Randy at WrestleMania, which is a match that people have wanted to see for 3 fucking years. People have wanted to see this match for 3 years. So, and even when Cody was champion before he dropped it to Drew, we want to see Cody versus Randy. Okay, well, you're getting it now. And then you're not getting it under your circumstances. So...
And then everyone's like, well, the chamber is not going to matter if it's a multi-man match. And guess what? The chamber is going to matter now because Randy Orton won, and it's not going to be a 4-way or a 5-way. So
yeah, exactly. There were reports that it was potentially going to be a multi-man match. Yeah. There was a lot of directions discussed.
Yeah, there was some stuff. You had some reports on when Cody and Drew found out about
last Friday. They found out officially that the match was going to be Cody versus Randy. There was some stuff that went into it. Obviously, people are saying, oh, he could have held the title till Mania and dropped it there. But the stories that they're going to tell in the next 6 weeks, you'll see why he dropped it now. You'll see exactly what happened. And then post-Mania, you'll know exactly why he dropped the title now.
Yeah. And LB, thanks for just being here. I know you said you appreciate us answering your questions. That's why we're here. It makes it more fun of a post show with you guys commenting as much as you guys.
I'll be around a lot, guys. So you can expect to see me a lot more on the channel.
It's been a while, Cory. So I think it's good to answer some questions.
Yeah, I'll be doing a lot of post shows and my own pod and stuff over here. So we're going to be having a good time moving forward with Body Slam. It's been a crazy 2026 already, and it's just going to keep going. Let's see.
You want to see Cody with Randy, but not that way.
I get it. I understand.
Fair point.
I understand. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people are having a problem with the way that it happened, but at the same time, you got to understand why they're doing things that they're doing right now. A lot of things had to change Mania season. It was first going to be Roman versus Cody 3 and Braun versus Punk for the title at Mania, and then injuries happened, and then it was going to be Seth versus Braun and this and that, which they're still doing as of right now. It's still going to be Seth versus Braun at WrestleMania. Braun Breaker is a freak of nature. I can't believe it. He had emergency hernia surgery, and it still looks like he's going to be ready for Mania, which is why the Masked Man story is still happening, because they're still going to do that at as of right now. So, but yeah, a lot of things had to change because of injuries and some other stuff that happened. But ultimately, I think despite the fact that the build as of right now hasn't been very good.
Yeah, I get this too. I get it.
I think that in the next 6 weeks, we're really going to enjoy what they cook up before WrestleMania 42 hits us in the middle of April.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to get Dragon Lee and Gunther at WrestleMania.
I don't think that's the match.
No.
We got it on Raw. It was a great match, both of them. But I think we're ultimately going to get Gunther versus Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. Yeah, I think that's the direction we're going to get.
Oh, sorry.
Although he is the career killer right now, I don't want to see that, because that means he's probably going to try and put Rey's career on the line, and I don't think it's time for that yet. If anybody is going to end Rey Mysterio's career, it has to be Dominic. It can't be Gunther. So
yeah, I agree.
Take that one.
They could have done Cody, Punk, Braun, Roman. I said that when I did the Rumble, our post shows with Rami last year. I thought that was the correct direction to go to. But I think, as Cory and I have said, I just think injuries have been a huge problem for them.
Really, really big problem that has set them back. And a lot of feedback on social media has also made them change their minds. So
plans for EO for WrestleMania? What do you got, Cory?
Can't answer that right now. Just know she's going to be featured.
I would think so.
Just know she's going to be featured, but I can't answer exactly what her plans are.
All good. We've had some Anna Jay questions. Anything to answer about Anna Jay's situation with AEW, Cory?
I have not heard anything on the WWE side regarding Anna Jay. I know there was some chatter that her contract was coming up. soon in this range sometime.
Yeah.
She hasn't been seen obviously since they lost in the tournament. They took the L in the tournament. Her and Ty took the L. She hasn't been seen since. Normally when that happens, that just means, and they don't show up on TV again, that just means they're not going to be with the company much longer. So if I had to guess, I think she is going to depart AEW. I just have not heard anything on the WWE side regarding Anna Jay.
Yeah. And I'll just say this, we'll probably do like 5 more minutes of these questions, and we'll do the final 10 minutes wrapping up the main event. Is Oba still head, do you think, Raw?
He's going to Raw.
Going to Raw?
Oba Femi's going to Raw. His first real feud is with Rusev. He's going to Monday Night Raw.
Yep. And I also want to bring this up too, as we're on an NXT post show, Corey. No NXT Stand Deliver on WrestleMania weekend. Obviously, it was announced that it was going to St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
What are your, from a reporting perspective, but also from like a fan perspective, what are your thoughts on NXT not running Mania weekend this year?
I think it's better for the talent and the production. Last year, they had to be at the venue at 5 a.m., which means that after the Hall of Fame and SmackDown and everything, and their meet and greets the day before, they were up all night pretty much. So they were running for the show that started at 11 in the morning in the East Coast. So 8 in the morning in Vegas, they were running the show. So it was a crazy time for them. They're probably going to reevaluate when they're in the correct time zones, because if they want to run Stand and Deliver during Mania weekend, can't do it on the West Coast because it's very, very bad for the talent and production. Production was having to run all these different shows within a 24-hour period.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not good for any of them. Health-wise, the talent, obviously the shows were good, but I think it's good to have Stand and Deliver as its own event right now. SmackDown is the night before in St. Louis, so I think we're going to have some people in town go to both of those. I think that the show is going, it's NXT's #1 show of the year. We're definitely going to have some big stuff happen. We're going to have some surprises. Yeah. So I think we're in for a good one, regardless if it's on WrestleMania weekend or not.
Absolutely. I think I went to the Stand Deliver in Philadelphia. That made a lot more sense. It was like a 1 o'clock start time. They were done by 4 o'clock. They had 3 hours until Mania started. I agree. If they're on the West Coast, it would be really hard pressed for them to do more Stand Deliver on Mania weekends. Let's see. We have some more questions coming in. Britt Baker questions. Anything to answer, Corey, on Britt Baker?
The latest thing was from Fightful, and I think that's the latest. She's under contract for quite some time with AEW. So
yep, that's what seemingly is the case. Matthew going with Rhea at WrestleMania. Are you also going to pick Rhea for WrestleMania?
I'll make my predictions as we get closer to Mania.
Okay, gotcha. LB saying, was Braun Breaker supposed to win the title at Mania up until he got hurt?
Yes, Braun Breaker was being positioned to be the next guy. Yes.
I wish he won the title, honestly, on the Netflix premiere. I just thought they should have pulled the trigger there. But
when they didn't do that, they had already started to pivot their stories. Yeah. So that was part of the reason why he did not win the title there.
Yep. Do you think IC will be a multi-man match at WrestleMania? Penta is the new Intercontinental Champion after being Dom on Monday, after being cursed by Danhausen.
A certain young OG has his eyes on the Intercontinental Championship. I think that we may get a singles match between Javon Evans and Penta for the IC title at WrestleMania.
Like that. JMG is saying he wishes that the NXT main title matches were going to be at Mania. It
would just take up too much space on the show.
And you want Stand Deliver.
You want their own show to showcase their own talent. So
yes, you want Stand Deliver to feel like its own thing. They tried the NXT Women's title at Mania. Didn't really work out that well. Obviously, the match was good, but people did not like Charlotte beating Rhea on Mania those years ago. So I agree. Keep Dom away from the title. I think it was a good decision.
I think Dom is away from the title for the time being.
Dom and Finn.
I think Dom and Finn originally was going to be an Intercontinental Championship match. Now I think that it's just going to be a one-on-one blood feud. I think that's the direction that they're going now. That Dom has dropped the title. Mm-hmm. I think it would have been very good to be a championship a championship match,
sure.
and Finn would have won singles gold for the first time in quite some time. But the way that they're moving now, Finn is being prominently featured every single week as a soon-to-be babyface. It looks like he's turning into a babyface.
Yeah.
So
he's got to win some matches, man. He's got to win.
This is going to be a big match for him. This is going to be a big match for him to win. I think with Danhausen cursing Dom on the WWE side, Dom is going to lose WWE matches. Dom has a big match next Saturday at Rey de Reyes for the AAA Mega Championship against El Hijo del Vikingo. The stipulation is if Dom loses that match, he leaves AAA forever. So
there you go.
I don't see, but I think on the WWE side, I think Dom is going to go through a little bit of a streak before he goes into the main event scene again. And ultimately, I think we might see Dom in the bank this year.
Yep. We see some people saying, "Are we getting the Demon at WrestleMania?"
Let's see how far Dom pushes him.
I think I'm with you. I think Finn. At first I was like, sure, IC title, but I was like, Finn's not winning any of these matches. He needs to win a match before he gets a title. So I'm happy they're at least going to give him a non-title win at Mania, and then maybe get him back into any sort of title picture. We're going to answer again. If you have some more questions, pile them on. I just think it's time for us to move on to the main event on this show, which was Joe Hendry retaining the NXT Championship against Ricky Saints. They had a very solid match. There were some ref bumps. Ricky Saints hit a low blow, hit his tornado DDT.
Kinda, I guess. Kinda some bumps. Yeah, he was involved in it. He didn't really take a bump. He was involved.
Yeah, he was like in the corner being like,
yeah, like three times in a row. He's in the corner avoiding, don't hit me, please don't hit me.
Yeah, we had two low blows. Ricky got a low blow. Hendry hit a low blow, but the whole crux of the finish was Ethan Page staring at the title, not helping Ricky, then accidentally throwing the title in between him and Hendry.
Accidentally,
but it led to Joe Hendry retaining the title. What were your thoughts, Cory, on this main event match here?
The match was good itself.
It was good.
I think Joe Hendry and Ricky Saints are both great talent. Joe Hendry, his story that they chronicled before leading up to the match, I think it gave a bigger picture of what he's gone through to make his way to WWE. I think Joe Hendry is a beyond average wrestler. A lot of people say that he's just a theme song merchant, which I think that he actually can work in the ring. It's been obvious that he can work. I think that him holding the title right now is the right move because, like we mentioned earlier, CW wants some veterans. They want some veterans on NXT still. I think Joe Hendry being the champion is going to lead to him elevating somebody else. Somebody else is going to get the rub by beating him on NXT. You mentioned Ethan Page coming down and trying to help Ricky Saints, staring at the NXT Championship, holding it. We talked about it earlier with their segment. He had his eyes on the two-time, what Ricky said. And if you subscribe to the Patreon, you would know that we reported that Ethan Page is expected to go after the NXT Championship, or at least be involved in the NXT Championship picture before getting his call up. So
I based on this show, it seems like that's the absolute direction they're going. The question is this going to be a multi-man match at Stand and Deliver? Is this going to be straight up Joe Hendry versus Ethan Page? Because again, we've already seen Ricky Saints and Ethan Page feud on NXT for a very long time. What do you think as of now? Obviously, we have a month. What do you think is the main event for Stand and Deliver? Do you think it is Joe Hendry?
I think it's going to be a multi-man.
Okay.
I think there's going to be multiple people. I think Ricky Saints is not going away from the title scene. I think Ricky Saints is going to find his way back into a match again. Mm-hmm. I think that we're probably going to get Tony D'Angelo in the NXT Championship scene. Like we mentioned, though, it's kind of hard to tell because you have three special events in the span of a month.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell what they're going to do, what their money match is for that main event. If I had to guess, one or the other at Roadblock or the show in Houston, the NXT Championship is probably going to be on the line at one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. If I had to guess, though, it's probably going to be Joe Hendry versus Ethan Page versus Ricky Saints. versus Tony D'Angelo for the NXT Championship. So I think that's the direction they're going to end up going.
Yeah, I seem like that's the case. I thought this was a good match. I didn't think it was anything like, special, but I thought it was a really solid NXT Championship match to close out the show.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think we all kind of knew Hendry was not losing this match. Ricky's already been champion before. His first defense, Hendry, since winning the title. So this made a lot of sense to hosting B+ match. There was something I didn't like, but I'm not sure what it was. I just felt like it was a regular NXT title.
It was a regular television match that you would see, but this entire show was a throwaway PLE pretty much. It was to end feuds. This entire show it's called Vengeance Day for a reason, and Vengeance was brought on by pretty much everybody on this show. They got their revenge. So, I think this was just a throwaway NXT Championship match because Ricky Saints wanted. He got screwed out of his opportunity to get his title match back because Obafemi vacated the championship. So he never got his rematch with Obafemi. Then he got put into the NXT Championship ladder match without having to qualify while everybody else had to qualify. And then he got thrown off the ladder by Joe Hendry before Joe Hendry became champion. And then you had this match. So I just think this match was a throwaway just to get it on the card to give Ricky Saints that. They don't really do it anymore, but I want to call it an obligated rematch. He got his obligated rematch because he never got it from Obafemi. So I think this was the way just to get that on the card. Like I said, it wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't my favorite. Yeah. I probably would have given it a solid B- or a C+ if I had to rate it.
I thought the first half of this show was way stronger than the second half of this show. That's kind of how I looked at it. I thought the opening 3 things I thought were really, really good. I thought we kind of
very strong. Very strong.
Yeah, I thought the opening couple things were really good. We're going to be on another 5 or 10 minutes or so. So get in your final questions, guys, before we head off.
I'd still give it a solid 8.5 out of 10, though. I would still give the PLE a solid 8.5 out of 10 because it was very good, overachieved. I saw a lot of people when the finalized card came out were like, "Oh, this card is going to stink. I'm not watching this," and then the reactions to everything that happened, it delivered. So
I would say 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was a solid show, but I totally see it definitely over delivered. I did not expect to think this would be a solid show, so I'm happy to say that. JMG says, "Does Bayley win the gauntlet on Monday? Leads to Bayley, Becky, AJ." No, says Cory.
Nope.
Does Bayley have a plan for WrestleMania, though? Because she was left off of WrestleMania a year ago.
Yep.
So that's a positive that she has a plan because last year I think a lot of people were even though Happy Becky was back, disappointed by that whole situation.
We're going full circle, I think, in 2026 when it comes to Bayley. So.
Yep.
If you get my drift, I think that's the direction they're going.
Yep. MGN saying, any chance of Evolve title matches on NXT pay-per-views? That
I wouldn't count that out someday, because that's still a brand for NXT. So I would not ever count out. I would say you probably got a better chance of getting Evolve Championship matches on the NXT PLE than an NXT Championship match on a WWE PLE. So
that I agree. I think, and they've done the Evolve titles on they did the MSG show last year. Yeah. They had both. They had Kendall and
Gold
they
Rush.
and Jackson defend. So I think there's a better chance of them defending those titles on a special event than an actual PLE. Vengeance Day was really good. People just like to cry about everything. It was a good show.
I've seen a lot of great feedback regarding it. So
it was a good show.
Yeah, I think I've seen great feedback.
Yeah, it was a good show. Her contract. Let's see, JMG's up in December, so I'm assuming they.
I don't think we know when her contract's up. I don't think her contract status is public.
I don't think so either.
I don't think her contract status is public outside of what updates that Fightful has given us before. I don't think her status is public. Although she hints at stuff in interviews and whatnot, talking about coming up, blah, but I don't think that it's really public when it ends.
The main thing she hints at is just Mercedes. Other than that, I think she hints at leaving WWE. I think she always people ask her just every time if she wants to wrestle Mercedes again.
Of course, that's her best friend. Who wouldn't want to wrestle your best friend? So
yes, JMG enjoying Tate Wilder. As someone who watches Evolve, he's also one of the rare bright spots. I think
he'll definitely be making his way to NXT sooner than later.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
Yeah, what else? Do you think Ricky Sosa has interest in WWE or AEW?
I would say both companies have interest. He has caught their eye, but he is being utilized on TNA at the moment. So
yeah. Is there any reason why Danny Ray isn't on NXT?
I wish I could tell you because they're not utilizing Tyra May Steele on NXT either. She's on Evolve
now. Completely.
Yeah, she's on Evolve right now. So Jasper Troy is barely being utilized. He was the speed champion and he dropped it. He dropped the damn speed champion. He's got a triple threat on Tuesday, but he's not going to win it. He's not going to win that triple threat. And then where does he go? Where does he go after that? So
wrestling Keanu probably. Is what
that they have been teasing that, and that might be a match on a special event. So
what happened with Zeta, who's now in AEW ROH now?
She made a personal decision. Her boyfriend's in AEW. AEW offered her a deal. She took the deal. WWE didn't have her wrestle much when she was under WWE ID contract, so she let it expire and she took the better deal from AEW.
Yep, and she's getting to work with Christopher Daniels also on a consistent basis, but I think it's good for her as well.
Fantastic. Even if they're only using her on Ring of Honor, it's still a great deal for her. So
she wrestled Tony too on Collision, I think.
Yeah, she did. They've had her sporadically appear on Collision, but I think her being on Ring of Honor and getting those reps on Ring of Honor is going to be very beneficial for her. She's an incredible talent. The business is a great place to have somebody like Zeta Steele. So good for her.
Knight and Legacy are two guys to build NXT around.
They're absolutely going to build around them. There's quite a few. Don't forget Elio LaFleur. They're going to build around him. You have the other European talent that got signed from the tryout last year that finally got their names in the last few weeks. And then you got these WWE ID talent that have not yet been revealed that are going to be revealed in the coming weeks that have also had tryouts with WWE. They've done a lot of stuff. So I'm very intrigued. They are building their men's division back up.
Yep, I just want Sean Legacy to win matches. He lost a lot in Evolve and he loses a lot in NXT. So I'm just hoping.
I'm pretty positive that he's going to be a big wrestler for the time in NXT.
Yep, I see big things for Elio LaFleur.
This is just the beginning for him. He just won the Speed Championship, so.
Yep. At least one page will debut Raw after WrestleMania. I don't know about that.
I don't know about Ethan Page debuting on a Raw after Mania, but who knows?
Well, I also think they're hinting at the other Page.
Cory. That's why they put it like that. I get that.
Yeah. WWE draft this year. Do people care about
No plans.
Who cares? These people are on both shows half the time anyway, it feels like now.
I won't say that they're on both shows. They utilize some people on both.
Sure.
Like when you have the big events where both brands are being utilized, the co-branded PLEs like Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble, stuff like that. You have them on both shows, but most of the time they're sticking to the brand split.
Yes.
Let's see. No return plans for Paige. Nobody's heard anything as of right now. I know she is training though, so
training, doing a lot of meet and greets as well. Seemingly going. Hopefully, Julia gets something to do now that Roadblock is out the paint. I've been banging the table. If you see my highs and lows, I wish Julia was booked. We'll see what happens for her at WrestleMania if she gets on WrestleMania.
I'm not gonna blame Road Dogg for Julia's booking. I'm just gonna say that.
It's not. It's a lot of people that are to blame when stuff.
And I'm not going to blame her. She's an incredible talent. I'm not going to blame. I've seen some stuff over the last few days from people who have been involved in the business that say she can't connect with a crowd because she can't speak. She can speak.
That's ridiculous. By the way,
she can speak.
Ridiculous comment.
She can absolutely speak. And they just have her paired with Kiana James to put them together. They needed something for both of them to do, so they're a grouping right now.
It's also a ridiculous comment. There's a lot of people who don't speak the language who can get over. So it's
you've seen
an excuse.
Yeah, 100%. I'll say that.
I'll just do this one more final call, guys, for questions. We've been on for around an hour. It's been a really fun show. We talked NXT. We talked. Absolutely. Cory's back on the air, so I wanted to get in some questions for people who haven't seen the face Cory Hayes. Cory, do you want to promote anything before we start wrapping things up here?
Obviously, want to promote the Patreon.
Right down.
The Patreon is where a lot of our stuff. I asked a question on the Patreon earlier this week for feedback on what people wanted to see from us. Mm-hmm. So I've taken that feedback. We did some predictions on Vengeance Day today on the Patreon because people were asking for it. I've talked to the insiders from Body Slam, and I think we're going to do some Q&As sometimes. Probably do some watch-alongs on the Patreon. I know Cassidy wants to do some watch-alongs on there. He's looking forward to doing that, especially now. So that's the big thing I want to promote is the Patreon. Let's see. Kyrie leaving Asuka, definitely. If you see the story, that's going to happen. And I think that's going to be the match at WrestleMania, or that's where we get Io involved, I think.
I think that's what we're going to get. I think that could be a triple threat. What do you say the Lucha Bros aren't reuniting this year?
I won't say that.
They better. What else is Phoenix doing? Please.
I'm not gonna say that. So
that's a good question, though. Anything on Carmen? She's in Evolve.
She's in Evolve right now. I think she's gonna win the Evolve Women's Championship sometime.
She is in Evolve. Are you excited? Oh yeah. Are you excited for Jericho?
Next question.
Our Body Slam group chat is all just everyone giving crap to Cory. For
next question. Get it. Go. Bye.
Kyrie, Asuka.
I could see that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Watch-alongs from the 80s. Watch-alongs from the 80s, Cory.
Let's see.
Question mark on that. What do you think?
Cassidy can do that.
Yeah, do we just upload some old house shows?
Yeah, I like what they're doing. They're uploading old house shows.
Io, Julia, Worthy. It is in the ring.
It is. I think that they
do it.
They definitely held it off for creative reasons from SmackDown. So if it's not at Mania, they're definitely going to do it at some other point.
Wow, Dakota wants you to answer that Jericho question, you know?
Nope.
Is the U.S. title going to be Mello and Ilya?
What do you think?
Me?
No, I'm asking what do the people think?
Oh, that's a good question. I think they should do Trick and Mello, but I don't know.
Trick is in another storyline.
Well, there you go.
If you watch SmackDown regularly, you'll know what direction they're going with the United States Championship. So
there you go. I went to Stand Deliver. I was disappointed by Carmelo and Trick. I wanted Carmelo and Trick to get a proper long match on the main roster. So I'm just hoping for.
Okay, Cassidy said he's down for old watch-alongs.
Damn.
Yeah, do it.
Happy in WWE.
Yes.
There you go. Clash in Italy. Question mark?
They're asking if that match could happen at Clash in Italy. I think Julia will be featured at Clash in Italy, but who knows? We still got 2 months until it. A lot can change. We have Mania in front of us. We have Backlash in front of us, and then we have Saturday night's main event, and then we have Clash in Italy. So
yeah, we got a while. Events. Dakota thinks it's gonna be Mello and Ilya at WrestleMania.
If you watch SmackDown, you would be able to see the direction they're going with it.
I love that Mello's wrestling good matches every week on SmackDown. It's a positive for me. Love Mello, so I'm happy for him that he's getting these chances. Well, last call, final 5 minutes, guys. We'll do 5 minutes left here doing some Q&A with Mello and Jericho. Oh, God. We can move on from that comment. Any final questions, guys? If not, there you go. As well, Cory. We got Charlotte and Alexa, question mark. I don't know if that means Mania, Cory, for JMG's asking. But
I'm pretty sure that's what that means.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think that's the direction they're going right now. But there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen in the next 6 weeks that I think people are going to like.
How many teams do you think will be in the women's tag team championship match at Mania? Is the question. That's a good question. There's a lot of teams, a lot of people who need to get
There's a lot of teams I think are going to get featured. I think 4 or 5 is the magic number.
Yeah.
Obviously you got Lash and Nia, the irresistible forces.
Yeah.
Lyra and Bayley. You have Charlotte and Alexa, the Bella twins.
Yeah.
Quite a few teams.
Yep, they got a lot of teams. They could, 6 women's matches at WrestleMania. Sounds good to me.
Yes,
Sounds good to me.
5 or 6 is the magic number this year.
Could we expect AAA wrestlers showing up on WWE TV? More of them, because really has just been La Parka, Iguana.
100%. 100%. You can have them. You can have them show up. They work for the company, so.
Yep. The other two might be the tag titles in a ladder match and 1v1.
The women's matches, I think you're talking about. Yeah.
Yep. How do you feel AJ has been so far? Don't know.
For somebody that hasn't stepped in the ring for over a decade, I think she's been just fine.
There you go. Yeah.
I think she's been just fine.
It's her first match. I think people who crap.
Her first singles match.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Her first singles match, and it wasn't bad. Her match against Becky was not bad.
Becky's the right person to have in the ring with her as well.
I think what there is the other 2 matches that she had was the Survivor Series War Games match and the WrestlePalooza match. But I haven't had a problem with AJ. I love AJ Lee.
Yep. Are Motor City Machine Guns going to turn heel?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
They're teasing tension with them. That's why they teased tension with the Street Profits too, and nothing came out of it. So,
yep.
I don't think so.
Dakota Kai tomorrow.
Yes, Charlie returns to the ring today.
Yeah.
Yes, she does.
Very exciting. Very happy for her. Hopefully it goes very well. Stat obviously is on a run of her career.
Maybe Motor City Machine Guns beat Truth and Priest. Maybe, but I think Priest and Truth are going to have a little bit of a run just to get them because they want to use Truth in a different role, and him and Priest obviously have history going all the way back to the Judgment Day.
Yeah, so I agree with you. By the way, MG, I want Fraxium to get a run as well one day.
Someday, when the titles get away from the MFT and the YH6.
Yeah. I want them to do good things because they were the best tag team in NXT for like over.
They were the best tag team in all of professional wrestling. Exactly. They were the best tag team in all of professional wrestling, and when they came up, they were still the best tag team in all of professional wrestling. But like I said, once the MFTs and the Wyatts got involved in the tag team scene, and the Wyatts took the tag team championships, it took the division. I love the YH6, but having them hold those titles for months. It hurt the division because you knew nobody was going to take those titles from them.
Yeah.
So,
crazy.
But now that the MFT have them, and I think the YH6 are gonna interfere in that match and cost them.
Yep. I broke me when they released Dakota Kai. I was shocked when that happened. I was very shocked. They're too good not to be pushed. Fraxium, yeah, they 100%. Are too good. Yeah, they are too good. Both guys are also more than capable singles guys as well. So all we need is a punt on Friday contract signing. You want Randy Orton to punt Cody on Friday?
Doesn't need to happen yet.
Why? It's too early. We got time.
Doesn't need to happen yet.
We got time. Phoenix not doing anything at Mania? Question.
I don't know. It's good to see him at least on TV. So
I guess that is a positive. I think I did not think we were gonna go this long with a 5-match card, but this was a really fun Q&A, Cory.
It's good it's good to be back on stream again.
Yeah, this was great. You guys were awesome in the chat.
I'm getting ready to hop off here and play some 2K26.
Yeah, I'll leave this up as we're closing things off. People also have been asking. I know 2 people asked in the chat, do we have shows breaking down WWE? We do.
I'm going to be doing a lot moving forward now, so stay tuned for that.
Yep.
I've been talking about it. The return of Raw Dogs after Monday Night Raw will be returning this Monday. Raw Dogs will be back. So will it be a 3-man or a 2-man? Who knows? But Raw Dogs will be back this Monday after Monday Night Raw. I'll probably be doing a post show for NXT on Tuesday now. I'll probably take over doing that along with NXT with Najee later on in the week on Thursday. We have Najee breaking down with special guests every single week. Shout out to Najee. Much appreciated for all the work that he does when it comes to NXT. Wednesday, obviously, we have the Dynamite fellas, JPJ and Jose. They do their thing for AEW. Thursday, we got the TNA guys. They do their work over there, Bert. Friday, I'll probably do SmackDown shows now too. just to keep more content coming. So you guys will be, I'll be readily available. That way you guys are not are not missing out on content when it comes to Body Slam, because we've been wanting to do this for a while. And now that I got things figured out over here, I'm going to be pushing out a lot more content. Oh, we've got podcasts coming. I'm going to be getting back on with Cassidy. Be doing podcasts with Cassidy again. So, and then I'm doing one with Danny. I'll be doing a podcast with Danny, in-person podcast with him. We're going to be doing that soon. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming. Like I said, we're probably going to do watch-alongs on the Patreon. Cassidy will probably handle those with our subscribers over there. So if you guys want to support us, go ahead and support us, please, on the Patreon. You guys, everything that you subscribe for, we try to do our best to get the best news out to you guys and more content. A lot of great things coming. A lot of great things coming from Body Slam. You and Blackhawk.
Me and Blackhawk.
The tour of Japan.
Yeah, we're back early this next week. We've had a lot of things come up for both of us.
The tour of Japan. That's another thing that we're going to be seeing on our channels as well.
Yep.
We'll be doing a lot of post shows. That's what I'm saying. I might choose to do some watch-alongs. They're just so time consuming that it really kills me. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm back. I'm ready to take over, and I'm sure the Body Slam team is ready to go full throttle and bring you guys all kinds of content moving forward, because 2026 is going to be one hell of a year for us. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Also, and before we even go to social media is also big. Please follow us on all of our social media platforms. I do highs and lows for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, Dynamite, and Collision. Blackhawk also cuts together the post shows into some fun clips for you guys on social media. So please follow us everywhere on social media as well. And also, I'm here hosting every single major PLE pay-per-view event. Me and Blackhawk are doing, as of now, the Revolution post show. Next week, Rami and I usually do the WWE post shows, and obviously Cory is more than welcome to hop on.
I'll probably be on every post show moving forward. So
yeah, so Cory will be with me, Rami, Blackhawk. All of us are going to be on the WWE or AEW post shows moving forward.
Looking forward to. I think we should do a post show next Saturday for Rey de Reyes for the first night of Rey de Reyes. Also.
Yeah, so AAA, yeah.
And don't forget Sundays, AEW Collision post shows on Sundays, Sunday afternoons. Our girls do a great job with their breakdowns of AEW Collision as well. So
yeah, so busy weekend next weekend. We got AAA, we have AEW pay-per-view. So more than likely you'll see both of us here again next weekend.
So much going on, and I'm really looking forward to what we got going on moving forward with Body Slam now.
Yeah, Cory, when I make it big, you want to be my agent. Dakota saying that to close things out.
I need my own agent.
I was gonna say, do you have an agent, Cory? I was gonna say,
I can get an agent. I can absolutely get an agent, but I don't have one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
I have some agent friends. I can get an agent.
I was gonna say, like, Dakota, I was like, you know something I don't about Cory. I was like, Cory is an agent, but okay. Let's. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for talking. I love talking pro wrestling with you guys. We'll be back. We have stuff every single day, as I just said. And also, please subscribe to Body Slam's Patreon. Breaking news every single day. Please subscribe.
Majority of the days, yep.
Yep, majority of the days. And we will see you guys on the next video. See you guys soon.